What's up, Lowlives? It's your boy Rhino back with another amazing episode of the Lowlife Podcast. With me, as always, my boy, Danny Panhead.
Oi, oi. Welcome to your Friday, my boy.
My boy.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, I don't know if we even have anybody in the live yet.
They're boycotting us.
Maybe. It was kind of a last minute thing.
Mm.
John's here. Oh, we do got people in the chat.
Yeah, chat. Oh, we're just not in the chat.
Okay.
Who's won?
All right. There we go. Oh, Earthworm Jim. Shout out Earthworm Jimison. He up in this bitch. I got his fucking points. I got your points cover. And I got your fucking t-shirt. It's going in the mail.
Yeah, buddy.
Right, guys, we got a lot going on here.
Hell yeah.
I gotta say, first off, I'm very disappointed in everybody. The Q&As, we barely got anything, guys. I don't even know if we have a full fucking show here. Well, we got like 25 comments or something. So shame on all you. No, I'm just kidding. We put it out mad late today.
Yeah.
And we were just kind of like, oh, we haven't done. Dude, Shovel Sam?
No way.
What's up? What's up, Sammy?
Hell yeah.
Shovel Sam? What is he, LARPing as a shovelhead owner now? You're Pan Sam.
Probably saved from maybe last time he was logged in. That's awesome. What's up, dude?
Yeah, dude. No, I'm stoked. I love these. First of all, I love when it's just me and you, but I also love doing the lives. I love hanging out with the homies, and I love the Q&As. They're just fun. But before we get into the Q&As, we had a couple of things that we wanted to go over. Let's start out with show shout-outs and sponsors. We don't have any sponsors, but you got a shout-out.
Yeah, I got some shout-outs. Real quick, we wanted to shout out White Line Creations. He just finished his build, and that thing looks incredible.
You sound like I can barely hear you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do I have to be in the mic?
No, dude. Everybody's saying that they can. For some reason, as soon as we went live, your mic dropped way off. Dan Head Pan. That's a good one.
You can't hear me right now?
It's pretty low, dude.
What the fuck?
It was perfect before. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Mike. Mixcast 4, it's on the fucking dealio.
Well, Dan's doing that.
Yeah, I'll just shut up. Keep going.
He'll do that. And yeah, he could just do a hardcore scream at us when you got it all figured out. But just crank that fucking volume up. Volume on the task cam. Maybe your elbow bumped it or something. So I'm gonna get into the show part of it because there's a couple of things we wanted to talk about the show. But number one thing I want to get out there, I'm super excited about this. And we've been talking about it for a long time, but we haven't really. We've been kind of waffling on it. Should we do it? Should we not? How should we do it? Is there a better way to do it?
Hello?
Guys, does he sound any better?
Is that better or no?
Talk like loud.
Talk better.
That sounds okay.
I'm like fucking, my family can hear me right now, probably.
It's better than before.
Is this good? If I talk this loud, is this okay?
I think it's okay.
What the fuck? All right. I'll talk loud.
Yeah, just eat that mic. So, yeah, first thing I want to talk about is we're going to implement a change that I talked about last week, but me and Dan talked about it. We know how we want to do it now. We've always wanted to do it. We just didn't know how to do it, but we're gonna do it. So, Idle Hands next cut is April 1, April Fool's Day for you fools. We're going to chop the remaining 25 again in half, or, you can't have a half a builder in there. So we're going to cut it down to a dozen builders, 12 builders. The day of the Idle Hand show, the 11th of July, 2026, we will have one redemption pick. Okay? The 13th builder is going to be redeemed from the B-side. It doesn't matter when you got cut. If you submitted your bike in the initial fucking 150, all right, you submitted, you said you threw down the gauntlet, you said, I'm going to be in this motherfucking show. You're eligible to be brought into the major leagues. You're going to get bumped up to A side the day of the show. The judges are going to pick. You have to have a running bike, and it has to be fucking choptastic, dude. It has to be something special. All right. But this is your redemption pick. You got cut, and you're like, fuck them. Fuck this show. Fuck Rhino, especially. Well, now here's your chance. Show up the day of the show with a killer fucking bike, and the judges are going to take you, and they're going to walk you down a fucking red carpet between two velvet ropes over to the A side. Redemption pick. On God.
Mic drop.
I just think that's the coolest thing, and it keeps you motherfucking B-side guys motivated.
Yeah.
Like I said, you show up the day of the show, you have a completed chopper, you're on the B-side, first order of business, day one. The judges are going to go and look. Unanimous decision. How did
What the
Phil get
hell?
in here?
What's happening?
What is going on?
I don't know. He gone.
Is he hacking the mainframe, dude?
I think so, yeah. Neo's up in the mix.
That's wild, dude.
All right.
Yeah, dude, I'm stoked on this. We always wanted to do a redemption pick. We thought, like, how are we going to do it? Like, we thought about maybe tying it into a different show or whatever, but we wanted to make it fair. It's going to take place the day of the show. That's when we're going to pick the Devil's Dozen, that dirty 13 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The 13th builder is going to be from the B side. Yo, why are people joining us? Like, how is this working?
What's going on? How's this happening?
How are people joining not as the audience? I don't know.
We could fall into a barrel full of pussy and still come out holding a dick. What's going on?
All right. I don't know how you guys are fucking joining our show with no audio or video. It's so weird, dude. This is so fucked up.
Yeah, something's glitching out.
And Dan, you sound like you're like at the end of a very long table, like that scene in Batman when
What the fuck?
she's like, "Hey, can you pass the salt?" And he's like,
Still?
"Excuse me." Yeah, dude, it's bad.
There's something going on.
Oh, you can request a live call an option. Yeah.
Stop doing that.
Not today, guys. We got a lot to go through, but I just wanted to get out there, get in front of it. Guys, don't be requesting live call-ins. You're fucking up the shit. I'm gonna have to end it. The live. Just join the fucking with the audience. All right. So B-siders, if you got cut, you don't think you should, show us up. Show up at the day of the show. We did have a question here about day of show. Do bikes got to be running and rolling by next cut? Dingo. No. Your bikes just have to be running the day of the show. So when you roll in your A side, we're going to do something to have you start up your bike. I don't know if anybody else can see what's going on, but I don't know if you got
this one's cursed.
chat. Can you guys see if when other people are joining? Yeah, you can see it. Okay.
You can say, all right.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but
I don't know what that is. I don't know
we
what's
getting
going
trolled?
on. Mike shit. What the fuck is going on? No, I think it's just people goofing. Not doing the right thing. What the fuck? Am I still really
actually,
quiet?
if you guys have a good idea on how to test, like what's a good test the day of the show, because we don't, People's Champ, they got that Cook's Corner run, I don't know if we're going to have the time to do all that shit, but I don't know.
I feel
There
like
definitely 100% won't be a bike in our show that doesn't have fucking pistons in it. You know what I mean? Or no carburetor.
At the very minimum, what I was thinking, just for sheer number of bikes, is when you roll in and you're coming to park your bike, you just ride it from where you unloaded it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
hear
maybe.
anything I said?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. I'm trying to speak louder.
Oh yeah, maybe we do a ride from Henniker. Shovel Sam said ride from Henniker. Dude, most bikes wouldn't make it. All those fancy pieces you guys glued on are just gonna rattle off going down my road. Um, all right, Danny, you had some shout outs.
Yep. So I want to shout out Line Creations because his build is finished. It looks fucking incredible. And he said he's going to post a video of it running soon. So looking forward to that. And then a quick shout out to everybody. There's been quite a few of them, truly, that have reached out with just positive messages in general, just to the podcast or to us individually or whatever. And thank you guys for that. The positive feedback, the negative feedback too. It's all very helpful. Keeps us going. So thank you for that. And then I know he's in our live here right now. Shout out to Gordon from Flake Paint Design. He gave us a hookup with a really cool opportunity. So Rhino had the conversation. I'll let him elaborate further.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to
Yeah.
say thank you, Gordon. We appreciate it.
Yeah, super appreciate that. He hooked us up with a fellow named Ron from a little magazine, a little publication of note called Traditional Chopper, and had a real good conversation with Ron. Long time. I think we talked for like an hour, dude. Ron's the man, and we're definitely gonna have him on the show. But he's down to support the fucking Idle Hand show and this show and shit. We really hit it off. He's a super good dude. And if you guys don't already have a subscription to, Traditional Chopper, if that's not in your rotation of magazines, it definitely should be. This is the kind of guy you want to support, and what they put out is fucking awesome.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're definitely gonna get him on. He's real easy to talk to. I'll tell you that. And he's just like he's cut from the same cloth. Everything I said, he was like, "That's fucking rad. That's fucking rad. That's fucking rad. Yes, yes, yes." Um, and then we need more of that in this world. We need more
Yeah.
people like me. We need more people like Dan and Ron. You know.
Hell yeah. So yeah.
So
Thank you, Gordon.
yeah, yeah, and just thanks. While we're shouting out people for hooking it up, shout out Muzzy the Wop,
Yep.
fucking Chad, dude. He hooked us up. He's making connections and shit. If you guys have connections to people that can help out, like me and Dan, we're just a couple of dudes. We're not rich and powerful. You know what I mean? And we need all the help we can get. So if you have people in the industry that could help out, just like spread the word, or they want to help out with sponsorships or merch or whatever, put us in touch. I'm more than happy to talk to anybody, dude.
Yep.
Um, I'd love to meet them. If you think that we could do something together, even if it's just to do a fucking show together,
Yeah.
Because like I said, we have the list of people that we want to get on the show. It's infinite. You know what I mean? And the amount of shows that we want to go on, it's just week to week. It's it's hard to coordinate all of this. But if you're like, hey, you guys should definitely get with these guys, or like, hey, reach out to your buddy or what or whoever if you have a connect and be like, yeah, you should check out these guys. They're doing something cool. We would super appreciate it. Like I said, we're not showrunners. You know what I mean? Like we finally, I put together a spreadsheet though.
Yeah, a really, really, really nice one. Like nothing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Shout out to Kurt from fucking Glory Days. He's the spreadsheet guy, and he inspired me to put everything in a spreadsheet so we don't forget. Because me and Dan both are cursed as very forgettable. So
Yeah.
it's definitely helping us keep everything in order and tracking it. Plus, working with other people. We have other people that we're working with and making sure that their deliverables are getting fucking delivered. So, um, did you have any other shout outs?
We're just gonna tease that hopefully in the next coming weeks we will be coming out with a collab episode with Danger Dan. So we're gonna be doing a split with Danger Dan's Talk Shop. So look forward to that. And then I don't know how much did you want to talk about our your idea on the carnival games?
Yeah, sure.
I think you should spit that idea out too, because it's really fucking cool. It's got me wicked hyped. So
Yeah.
that's something we can use some ideas, you know?
Yeah, and also we're gonna need a little help with it too.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
so here's our idea with the carnival games, right? So we were looking around carnival rental because this is a chopper carnival. Okay, we want you to walk in there and there's a calliope playing like, and fucking we want to have like a ringmaster doing the chopper games. We want to have a. I'm gonna hire a clown, just like an insult comic clown or something, just to walk around, be dirty and drink and fucking make crude jokes. But we also want to have like cool carnival games, and we're looking around at these carnival rentals, and they're all fucking inflatable now. They're like for little kids' birthday parties and shit. I want that fucking like one of those fucking like torsos, that's like from Big that like tells your future and shit. Like I want that shit. Like I want
Sold
some
man.
esoteric shit.
Yeah.
Um, so we decided we're like, hey, you know what? You can't fucking rent this shit. Nobody makes what we want, so we're gonna make it. So we're gonna make our own carnival games. One of the ideas just is for like a ring toss, instead of like throwing a ring on I don't know, a a milk bottle or something, we're gonna have like cases of High Life. And then like if you get the ring on it, you get to drink it. Cool shit
Yeah.
like that. So if you have ideas for cool carnival games, dude, hit us up. And if you're down, if you're gonna be again one of the if you're in the area, you want to get involved with the show, actually running the show and shit, we're gonna need some part-time carnies to help us operate these fun little games and shit. Not all day,
Yeah.
obviously. I'm not gonna stick you in there and do the fucking ring toss all goddamn day, but
Right.
maybe we can do a rotation or something. So let us
We
know,
even
like Brittany said, if you're down to clown.
There you go. We've talked about because we want like a bunch of stalls and stuff, but we're gonna stick to the fucking DIY thing here. We're gonna do it ourselves. We're gonna make our own fucking carnival games and fucking the shoot the balloon with a dart and all that stuff. But we were even thinking if we can get like stalls or whatever, we'll have a slow race stall, and then we'll have a barrel push stall, and then we'll have a kickstart race stall, and there will be an attendant at each, and you show up and you get in line or whatever, you put your bike online and you do a bike game or whatever, and there's somebody with a bullhorn walking around dressed
Yeah.
up like a ringmaster and all that shit. So like
Yeah, and we're reaching
there's
out to different sponsors and shit. We want to have some swag, like
yeah,
you don't want a fucking teddy bear. You know what I mean? You
right,
want like maybe a cool keychain or a patch or a sticker pack or something like that.
shirt or yeah,
Yeah,
some swag.
t-shirt. So we want to make it fun. But obviously, like we're not going to be running an actual carnival,
Right.
and it's free to vend, it's going to be free to attend. So we want them to just, we want just free shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm stoked on that. We have someone in mind to run the chopper games. We want to make that a big deal. We want it to be like an ongoing thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you can sign up and get involved and win some shit. Um, Taco Heart, make sure you got someone watching gas for the inflatables. I was at a thing where the generator died and the kids got trapped in the house. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Fucking A.
Yeah, we're not doing inflatables.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
Fucking
Too many
yeah.
of you motherfuckers still smoke cigarettes, dude. Like
Yeah.
motherfucker Dan in the fucking bouncy house with a Lucky Strike, dude.
Come on.
You're you.
Fucking ruin
I
my
know. I
dreams.
know. I know like 5 people that still smoke cigarettes, and you're one of them,
Is that true?
dude. I don't know a lot of people that still smoke.
Wow. I know a lot of people that smoke.
Really.
I think so. Fuck, now I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe not.
Think of the chop look, dude. Who's smoking there? You?
Was it just
Cigarettes.
me?
Yeah. Watcher
Fuck.
doesn't smoke anymore.
That's true. This is the year I quit. I'm putting it on the set. This is the year I quit.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll feel so much better.
I hope so.
And I'm actually waiting till they come out with like a healthy cigarette so I can start again because I miss smoking. It's like it was one of my few like real pleasures in life. Like I
Yeah.
love smoking cigarettes. Um, speaking of smoking, shout out. I'm going to be on the Cigars and Gears podcast this week. I don't know when it's going to drop. Maybe next week or the week after or something. But yeah, check out Cigars and Gears. I'm going to be on that. I'm recording with Loctite this week, so that should be
Fuck
some fun. I'm
yeah.
going to smoke a cigar. We're going to talk about gears. I'm probably gonna drink some Malort. I don't know.
Ugh. Are you going there?
I think I'm probably gonna do it remotely just
Yeah.
because schedules and stuff. I'm doing 3 recordings this week, so, um,
Yeah,
it's hard to get out to Epping from where I am.
for sure.
Oh, yeah, Gordon smokes the pipes.
Mm.
That's a cool look. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I've tried it. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be the pipe smoking guy." I couldn't do it. I love pipe smoke.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I don't know. I got that pack of Black and Milds for the chop luck, and that hit the spot. That was nice. I couldn't smoke the whole thing all in one go, but I hadn't had a B&M in a minute, man. Oh, that tasted nice.
Brittany says
I
she's gonna mule up some stag beer for us. I've never
Hell
had
yeah.
stag beer
I
ever in my
have.
life.
I have. It's good.
Is that a southern thing? Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, I think I had it. I think it's in Texas, but I don't know. I grew up in the South, so I had it
If
somewhere.
you like Paps, you like it. I've not met
Yeah,
a,
with
a beer that I
PBRs.
don't like. I'll drink
Yeah.
any motherfucking thing that has alcohol in it, dude.
Oh, Missouri and Illinois. There you go. So it was in when I lived in just outside of St. Louis. I lived in Belleville and Smithton.
Yeah, I've never even seen it before, so it must be like really local to that area.
Yeah. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, I remember my first real girlfriend's dad always had stag, like the cardboard boxes, like stashed up next to his sitting chair in the living room. Remember that now?
15 bucks for a 24 pack.
Damn,
Damn.
that's
Yeah.
cheap.
How about that?
Good deal.
Good beer, cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Um. All right. So what else do we got? Do we have anything else that we wanted to talk about?
I'm just I'm gonna be making the group chat for the final 25 here shortly, hopefully tonight. And then I am also, for any that are listening, I'm going to be reaching out to all of the Devil's Dozen artists very soon. Just checking in with everybody, make sure everybody's still good and on board and everything. See if we can help with anything. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got.
One more thing I wanted to mention was I added some warm weather gear to the shop. Idle hands, hoodies, long sleeves, Low Life Podcast hoodies, long sleeves. Bundle up, motherfuckers, because winter, I don't know. Punk's Tony Phil doesn't even fucking make a prediction for another couple of weeks.
Mm.
And that motherfucker's been real lenient on his predictions. He'd be saying that we got an early spring, and then all of a sudden it's snowing in April. So
Yeah, fuck that.
yeah, but just a reminder: all the proceeds to those shirts go right to the Idle Hands kitty, and we're over $6,000, guys. We don't have one sponsor yet. We don't have a single sponsor yet, and we're already more than halfway there. So just I guess thank you, definitely all the Patreons,
Yes.
everybody in this chat right now. You guys are making the show happen. Dollar for dollar, you guys have donated more than anybody. Thank you for everybody who's donated right to the GoFundMe. And if you want to support, you can buy merch, join the Patreon, or go to the GoFundMe. All the links are in the bio. So please continue to support because you guys are making this show happen. Yes, Brittany, I am going to be making some lady stuff. I was going to do that today, but I didn't have time. Yeah, black rib tanks. I don't know what ladies like to wear, so please, if you're one of our lady low life listeners, let me know what you want to wear. If you're like, yeah, we want tanks. You want brassieres? I don't know if they do brassieres. Booty shorts, socks. I don't know. You tell me. Handbags? I don't
Yeah,
know. I know
whatever.
t-shirts, dude.
Yeah.
All right. You want to get into these motherfucking Q's and A's?
Yeah. Let's cue some fucking A's.
All right.
Or A some Q's,
Um,
I guess.
I got it pulled up here. We'll start with Andy Man Word. Is he the first on yours?
Hold on, I'm getting there. I was on my notes. Nope. Silver City's first on mine. Why
Okay.
does it do that?
It's so weird. What the fuck?
All right.
Maybe our algos are different. So I'll do Andy. Couple things come to mind. Are you still kicking around the idea of having a female guest host from time to time? And who's the biggest influencer in the chopper community other than my man Chicken Rick? And then he also has a couple of show or chat names: Still Alive 25, Built to Survive 25. So yeah, the first one, I'm always open to having a female guest host. Um, it would have to be they kind of have to get along with us, like they need to be able to chill with us. So if you're a lady and you can chill and hang, I mean, I would love to have more hosts, especially the representation. We have a lot of positive feedback from the ladies in the motorcycle community. I know it's rough for you sometimes. Guys can be fucking assholes,
Yeah,
as you see. If you've browsed the comment section of any of their pictures or videos,
fucking
um,
embarrassing.
yeah. So yeah, man, I'm about it. If you can hang, and if you're, we haven't reached out to anybody in particular. But yeah, I'm definitely down. And it definitely a guest spot. That would be nice too,
I think the correspondent thing would be fucking awesome. We could have like a northern northern low life correspondent with Haley or something, and then we could have a southern with Bougie Billy, and then a western with Evo Trash Rat. Like, you know what I mean? And then we
Yeah.
could just check in with them once a month or whatever. There's 4 cardinal directions. We could do that once a month. I don't know,
I like the
something like that.
correspondent thing.
Yeah, it's cool. Get more people involved. Spread the net. You know what I mean?
It could be like a news show, like
Yeah.
checking in with, Maria from fucking wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, the second one, who's the biggest chopper influencer?
Hmm.
I mean, I might, if it's not Chicken Rick, I might say it's Haley.
Yeah,
Taylorization.
she's definitely up there for sure. Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
eh,
Influencer, I mean, you
Axel.
got Storm
Actually, it's
Riders.
Axel's pretty fucking big.
Actually, it's Axel is big. Yeah, I know. I hope these people don't mind us calling them influencers. I know that's maybe not their intention, but Storm Riders, that dude, I would probably say him. If you guys aren't aware of Storm Riders, he does the chopper influencer satire videos. He's not really like that in real life, but he does the like. You also have like the Joey Gano or whatever, the dude who smokes cigarettes next to his swing arm Sportster and then rides away and leaves his phone behind. He's a big one. But you also have Maddie's a big one. Chopper Fisher, he genuinely is a big one. So I don't know. I don't know. The influencer thing kind of makes it sound gross, but those are the people who like I see that are, you know, at that level.
Yeah, Easy Co is pretty big, but
Easy Co, yeah.
they I don't know. When I think influencer, I think specifically on social media, and
Yeah.
they do most of their talking on the YouTube. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think of like first thing that comes to my mind is the people I see like every single day creating content on
Yeah.
TikTok and Instagram.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. I think Haley is. She was
Yeah.
just on fucking Orange County Choppers, dude.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Um as for the names there, Andy man, I had someone suggested one that I was like, I think I could live with that, and I totally forgot which one it was.
I honestly, I keep going back to Still Alive 25.
Yeah.
I like that better than Stay Alive 25 because that's a little too disco-y for me. But
Yeah.
Still Alive 25, I have searched for every word in the English language and adjacent for words that start with TW, words that rhyme with 25, adjectives that start with T. Like it's just there's not a lot out there that's like that really
Ooh,
rolls off the
Satan's
tongue.
Hive.
Satan's Hive 25. That's not bad. Actually, yeah, didn't shit. I think someone said that in the group
I
chat.
think that might be the one I was thinking of.
Satan's Hive 25. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
I
So
like
we'll
that.
find
So let's
out
do that.
tonight. Keep them coming, guys, throughout this
Yeah.
chat. And Dan's going to create the group chat tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got our boy Evo Trash Rat. What has been the most challenging thing about running a chopper build off?
We haven't got there yet.
Well, I
I
think
feel like we haven't got
I
there
really
yet.
think
But
that the most difficult thing is you come to a point where you have a discussion about how to handle a situation, you know? Like just how essentially it's set up, right? Like, do you have a money cap? Do you disqualify someone for putting a roller as their submission instead of the exploded view? Like, those things have been difficult because we'll talk about them and we're just like, at the end of the day, I'm just like, I don't want to be nitpicky, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like there's people that are doing what you're asking and they probably are looking like, what the fuck? It would be nice if I did it that way, you know? So just mentally being okay with pissing some people off and just understanding that I can't fucking please everybody, dude. So I just been going with my gut and just doing what I think is the right thing or what we think is the right thing. You know, we talk about these things. That's what have wrestled with the most. It's just, you can't please everybody. So you got to just make a decision and fucking go with it, you know?
Yeah, I would totally agree. That stuff there have been, as a lot of you are aware if you've been following along, there have been several times that we've had to make a decision that was a big decision and we weighed every single option and everything else, and Rhino and I would talk ad nauseum about it until we came up with what we could only agree was the right decision. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
amicable decision for everybody involved. You know what I mean? We have a certain way in mind to do this, and it's DIY, and it's judged. It's not for the people. It's not by the people for the people type deal. Like the people aren't voting on it. It's judges for a reason to
Yeah.
keep a lot of the bullshit out. You know what I'm saying? It's not because we want to provide you with someone you can't argue with. It's so that for one, we can run a show and we're not the bad guys, right? Because we're trying to do the best we can for everybody else. We're just trying to put this on for people, right? So if we have judges, that's that. You know what I mean? There's no like, oh, well, they have more followers and they have this and they blah, blah, blah. And I missed this. And there's none of that stuff. It's just, hey, this is how it goes.
Yeah.
And we've had to field a few things that we weren't ready for,
Yeah.
that we didn't expect. And all we can do is the best we can. And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we're trying to put on the best chopper show in the history of choppers. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it ain't easy. That's not an easy feat. It's easily said. But actually, it brings up a good example. Me and Dan were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it's okay to disagree. Even me and Dan disagree on things, and that's okay. And here's an example, right? Is Dan had mentioned something about someone getting their bike painted by a painter, right?
Mhm.
And we had quite a few people reach out and was like, "Oh, how come they can do that?" And it's like, well, we don't really have any rules. You know what I mean? And Dan is in the I think they should be able to do that camp, for a lot of different reasons. And I don't think you should, but again, we're not the arbiters of what is going on here. We're setting the stage. The spirit of this is do it yourself. And again, there's another comment in here about like what a chopper is and all that stuff. And to me, what a chopper is like it's whatever it means to you. What is DIY? Like it's whatever it means to you. You're building this bike to have the bike that you're going to ride. You're not
Mhm.
building this bike to sell it for a bunch
Right.
of money. You're not building this bike for the glory. Hopefully you're not building it for the money. Hopefully
Right.
you're building a chopper by yourself in your garage because that's what that's how you respect yourself. That's what I do when I'm in my garage is I try to do everything myself because it's a fucking hobby, dude. This
Mhm.
is what I do. I want to do the thing. I want to build bikes. So I want to be able to paint it. I want to be able to do the metal fab. I want to be able to do as much as possible. And I ain't made of money, dude. So I can't just be paying. I can't be tithing half my paycheck to lowbrow customs and fucking Prism Supply Co. and shit.
Yeah.
And when I look at a bike, where what gives me the most amount of like, yeah, dude, you're doing it right. Like most if someone wants my respect, like tell me what you've done with your bike. Like show me the things that you've overcome. That's what's really impressive. I don't care if you have a couple of runs in your paint job or your welds don't look that pretty or whatever. If you have a sick ass bike and you did it all yourself, that's where your pride should come from. But that's also where you get people's respect because they're like, you did it all yourself. Good boy.
Absolutely. And I am all on board with that. I totally agree. And I would love, urge, encourage, beg all of the people who are left in this competition to paint it their bikes themselves. You guys have heard me say it on this podcast till I'm blue in the face. I encourage everyone to paint at least their first bike. Like really paint it. I'm not talking like even rattle can. That's one thing, but I really encourage everybody to do it. And as far as I'm concerned, this competition is the best time to do it. But I also understand that there are levels to this shit. I understand that there are some people who are building a real show bike that really want this to be a real show bike. And maybe Idle Hands isn't the only show on their calendar for this bike that they're building. Maybe they're going to do things with it after. If I were going to put in all of my, if I'm a fabricator, and that's kind of going to be my shtick, right? Is I'm going to fabricate the fuck out of this bike, but I don't know how to operate. I don't have I live in an apartment. I don't have somewhere I can paint, whatever, then I'm going to pay to get it painted because I would rather my bike that I put all of my work into, an entire year's worth of work and effort and fabrication and skill and knowledge and experience into, just to fucking rattle can it because I don't have any other option. That sucks. And I'm not saying anything about rattle can, but you know what I mean. If you're going to build this fucking crazy bike that otherwise, if it had a show paint job on it, would be a show bike, but you don't have that capability, I don't see anything wrong with it. Now, nothing says that anybody who's getting their bikes painted or powder coated for that matter in this competition are going to win. We're not the ones who decide, right? That's up to the judges. That's entirely up to the judges. And they will obviously be aware who painted their own bikes and who didn't, right? That's that. That's the end of that conversation as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
We're not saying you can't do anything. You can do
No,
whatever
yeah,
the fuck you want.
do
There are
whatever you
people who
want.
didn't do their own hardtails in this competition. It is what
Yeah.
it is. I'm not still, but you know what I mean?
Do it the way that you want to do it,
Yeah,
and do it in the spirit of what choppers means to you, and I think then you'll be just fine. You know what I mean?
100%.
And yeah, we just maybe we should have made some more rules and stuff. But again, I'm not a big rule guy. I don't think it's. I don't want to have I don't want to have a big fucking printout of rules and be like, do this, don't do that, do this, and
Yeah,
then you're gonna be splitting hairs on that shit too.
right.
There's enough of that in fucking life. So it's just like, look, go out, build a fucking chopper, and the judges will decide. They know what the fuck they're talking about. Obviously, they're some of the best in the biz, so they'll judge you.
Yeah,
And maybe they wouldn't judge the way. I mean, they haven't been judging the way me and Dan would, and they're not
yeah,
going to judge the way that you would. Everybody
right.
has their own opinion about what they like. Some people like diggers, some people like fucking long bikes, some people like panheads, some people like metrics. That's what it's not about any of that. It's just about like build a fucking bike that you want to fucking ride
Yeah,
and do the hard work, and whatever that means to you, that's how it is. But
right.
yeah, anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because it's like, look, the two guys that are putting on the show don't fucking agree on some stuff too. And
Yeah,
we're still friends. We're not at each other's throat. Dude, you don't have to fucking win every argument.
exactly. Yeah,
Like even like last week when you were like, I think we should announce them all at the top. We talked for like 25 minutes.
yeah, we did just
And
about
then
that.
and then we're both like, well, we don't even care about it. Let's just get this fucking show done.
Well, and we're also not too fucking stick in the muds either. Like you were like, well, here's why I think we should do it this way. And I'm like, fuck, those are good points. Right on.
Yeah.
Let's do it that way. It's certainly not something I'm going to be like, no. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Why? This isn't going to work if we're like that. You know what I
Here's a
mean?
little life advice. I've been around the sun a few times. Um, Pick your fucking battles, dude. If
Yeah.
you're with your buddies and shit, like if you're one of those motherfuckers that's just like a fucking pain in the ass to get along with because you're so opinionated about things, you think you have it all figured out, dude.
Mm.
You know, you're on a fucking rock that might be a computer simulation, spinning around the sun at thousands of miles an hour. Maybe it's flat. Maybe it's a. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But
Yeah.
you know how shit works? I doubt it. Just have a little bit of humility and give people the benefit of the doubt and actually listen to them, Because like Dan was saying, he had some great points. I had some great points. And you can change your mind too, by the way.
Yeah.
That's
It's
okay
okay.
too.
That's
You know?
okay.
Like you can
Absolutely.
convince someone of something and just be like, yeah, you know what? Good point. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Um, All right, so that was a long way of saying what the hardest part of the chopper build off has been. Um, all right, so Restrepo John, what are we calling the top 25? When does chat start up? Um, you will find out. You will find out tonight or tomorrow what that is. Espaceta, if you were to build a hybrid motor, what would it be and why? I'm talking shovel cases, Evo jugs, or something like that.
Mm. Hmm. I would probably do a big ass Evo top end and jugs on a generator bottom end.
What would you do?
A big ass Evo set jugs and heads, right? Evolutions like fucking 107 or whatever, right? But on a generator motor.
Wild.
I don't know. What would you call that? A Pivo? A
A
Gevo?
Shivo.
Shivo? Shovelhead Evo? Yeah, I don't know. That's probably what I would do.
I'd just do pan shovel.
You already have one.
It's the best though.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, one agrees with me. It's the best.
Yep.
You can't beat it, dude.
I agree.
The best looking components from two of the coolest motors ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Put them together.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I did. Honestly, I haven't even thought about any of that shit before. Like,
No, that's out of my wheelhouse, at least for
yeah,
now.
I'd have to do like so, dude. Like motor work like that would take so much fucking time for me to figure out. All right, one way cycles. Where and do you personally draw a line between chopper and custom? In my opinion, there are a lot more customs than choppers. Just that a chopper has become more of a general term since the early aughts, which is a fair point because when I first started coming around, the word bobber and chopper were kind of
Yeah,
like synonymous. You know,
for sure.
I think they might still be on Facebook Marketplace. You know, like sometimes I see choppers and dudes are like, "Oh, this is my bobber."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That line has definitely changed over time for me, you
Yep.
know? Like, I was a hard line, if it doesn't have a hardtail, it's not chopper.
That's chopper. I mean, chopper for me is just specific, like torn down with like the chopper things. You know what I mean? Like they're not just cutting off your rear fender and taking your wiring harness out. Like a chopper is you've done some work to the frame, it's done by the owner, like all that kind of stuff ties into chopper
Yeah.
for me. A custom and a chopper can both be a thing, right? But a custom to me is more like Paul Cox level or like, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff where like every piece is designed in CAD and CNC machined or forged by hand or, you know what I mean? It's like that kind of level, even like Indian Larry and like all that kind of stuff. Those are customs more
The
so than
the
like my
really wild
stupid.
shit that
Yeah.
is, like, super specific maybe even too, like,
Yeah.
it's just it doesn't have a category because it's so unique, you know? Like,
Right.
on its face, like, when I think of a chopper, it's a hardtail, it has a hardtail. If it's older, it's just like it's a custom, it has wild bars, it has this and that, like a custom. When I first think of custom, I think of like those stunt bike boys because they got like
Mm.
custom paint job, like legend suspension, fucking this and that, like custom parts on it, but
Yeah.
the bike still looks essentially like it did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like you can tell what kind of Harley motorcycle it was when you first look at it. It just has better paint, better parts, That's what I
Right.
think of as a custom. But I still say like I would probably say it has to be hardtailed, with the caveat unless you have like a crazy like crazy Frank's fender or something like that on the back end.
Mhm.
I have a
Yeah.
hard time calling my softail a chopper.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say the term has sort of amoeba'd a little bit for me even, you know what I mean? Like it's I used to think like vintage, that was a chopper, but like there's M8 choppers out there for sure, like uncontestable in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's I
I
feel
feel
like
like
it's
it's one of
like
those things you know it when you see it.
yeah, it's more like the everything else around it. Like, is it a small shop that built it, or is it like this mega production type deal, or is it like what was the intention behind it? I feel like intention is a big deal for me too. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is it something that you just slap together and it looks like everything else because you want to get, you know what I mean, in into the wheels of this shit, or did you do something that is for you? Or did you do something that you have $100,000 in
It's
machining and
hard to
tooling hours?
categorize though, because it's like, okay, if you
Yeah,
tell me it's a chopper, but you got stock suspension on it, changed out the tank, you changed out the rear fender, like, but you haven't really modified the frame,
yeah,
like, I don't know. It's hard for me to call it a chopper unless you modify the frame, which you do have to do if you do one of those like crazy Franks or something like
yeah.
that.
I think that's the
Um,
important distinction is modification, right? That might be the most important distinction, kind of per the definition nowadays. You have to modify it. You can't just go buy well, I mean you can do whatever the fuck you want, but in my opinion, it's not the same as just going to lowbrow customs and buying a peanut tank and putting a peanut tank on your 2014 883 that you just got and then cutting the back half of the fender off of it and putting ape hangers on or rabbits on it. That's not how that works. I feel like modification is more so important. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
You
say
have to
like
change shit, not just
I
bolt new shit on.
yeah, and if you like if you get like if you're like that's like if someone's like yeah this is my chopper and you look at it and you're like I don't consider that a chopper. I'm still gonna call it a chopper, dude. You know.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you. And that's the thing.
Oh
Is
no.
like I don't really need a definition because I don't fucking. There's not like a real life scenario where I have to apply it. Like I just look at stuff and I'm like, that's a chopper because X, Y, and Z. I would say,
Yeah.
if you added a bike and you modified but here's the thing: it's like you have an old panhead, it's already hardtailed. But again, it's like that's like a chopper from the factory almost. Like
Yeah.
you can tell if you have a different seat, like you have a different seat, you have different bars, you have a different front end or whatever. That makes that a chopper. And if you
Yeah.
have a Sportster, I think that you should hardtail it,
Yeah.
and then it's definitely a chopper.
Right. I'm not denying the possibility or the existence of swing arm choppers. There are, and I built
Yeah,
one. That's how I started. And to the effect, here's kind of what I'm talking about. Just as an example that I'm very well aware of because I did it. When I was building the Gypsy Witch, rather than just get I think I used a ribbed manta ray fender. Rather than just get one and then mount it with the struts and everything else, I cut the struts off. I turned those into the taillights. I screwed I capped them, put the taillights there, and then I mounted the fender to the swing arm itself. It was not mounted to the frame. And then I got a seat from Biltwell that had a fiberglass seat pan so it flexed so that I could get that rear fender to sit and tuck nice on that rear fender. Because usually on swing arm chops, if you look at them, especially Crazy Franks, the rear fender's 6 inches, 8 inches off the rear tire. I don't love that look. So that's what I mean is modification. I took the entire bike apart. I sanded every bit of powder coat off of it. I added new mounts to it. I changed how shit, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That's
yeah,
more modification than just I bought a fender and then I mounted it.
yeah. And here's the thing: my thing about bobbers too is like I don't even think they're a thing anymore. Like that was a
Oh
thing
no.
in fucking like England or whatever. People like bob the fender so they could race and shit. But like it's 2026. It's
Yeah.
either a chopper or that's if it's not a chopper, I just call it a motorcycle. You know?
I feel like, yeah, there's Bobber seems to be like something in between a chopper and a cafe racer. You know what I mean? I feel like it's somewhere right in the middle of that. Because
Yeah,
you
a
see a lot
bobber.
of
Yeah,
bobbers with like the X on the headlight, and some
yeah.
of them have clip-on
So
style or
so
short
Taco Heart
bars.
nailed it. So basically, I think that bobbers are just like what you make when before you obtain the skills to become to make a chopper, right? So you're not
Yeah.
modifying the frame at all, right? And I made my first bike, the CB750 frame. I did cut the fender, struts off so I could have it bobbed, and I bobbed the rear fender or whatever. That was a bobber.
Mhm. Yeah.
That was a limitation of my skills, though. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that makes a bobber not a chopper is the limit of your skills and tooling.
Yeah, I like that. I think Taco Heart nailed it with that.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Pizza Overlord. How long you think it's gonna be until all the pre-Evo bikes are sold off to Australia or Japan? They might already all be there. There's a lot of people in Japan,
Yeah,
and they they like those shovel heads, dude.
there's a lot of shovel heads, and if you're worried about it, go buy them.
Yeah, they're eventually they will. I mean, we have a lot of people here too, though,
Yeah,
and there's some of these people aren't selling them off to Japan, but I mean, there's definitely been a surge in that activity, right? Like people here building bikes and exporting them. I don't know how many panheads and shovelheads did they make?
I could probably look that up.
Yeah, one of mine is in Japan too. BT Dub, so I ain't hating.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm googling.
Yeah, it's well, one. How about this? When they all get there, we'll go and invade Australia and Japan, make them America, and take all our bikes back.
The best accepted estimate of how many panheads were produced in total is between 200 and 220,000.
That doesn't
That's
sound like a whole lot, man.
that's just panheads. How many shovel heads did Harley produce?
And I bet there's probably like
Three
seven
quarters,
million.
3/4 of a million shovel heads.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, 650 to 750,000 shovel head engines.
How many of those are hiding in the barn right now? How many of those got methed out and
Yeah, or scrapped or burned or whatever. Yeah, there's certainly not that many left, and there certainly aren't that many in America. But I think they're
yeah,
still out there.
yeah, iron heads and shovel heads do both go to Japan.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to go get them back at some point. They're gonna be the ones exporting them back to us.
Yeah.
You ship your shovel head out to Japan for 15,000, they're gonna sell it back to us for 30.
Yeah.
And it's gonna have SWAT stickers on it and shit. Which I accidentally posted. I put on our story this cool bike, and someone hit me up and was like, "Yeah, it's a pretty cool bike, except for the fucking Swazis on it."
Oh fuck.
And I was like, "Oh, I didn't even see that." And I watched it, and at the very end, he goes around. It's like on the shift knob,
God fucking damn it.
and I was like, "Oh shit." So just on the record, I'm not, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But the
Fuck
rest of
that
the bike
shit.
was pretty cool. But they don't really know what that means. I don't think it looked like a fucking single banger, fucking some weird custom twisted out of a like a fucking shipwreck or something. So it was really
Mm.
impressive. But yeah, I don't know. That's part of their culture. But all right, next up we got Espaceta. Does a hot dog technically qualify as a sandwich?
I think a hot dog is a hot dog. I think it's its
Yeah, I
own
think it's
thing.
its own thing.
Yeah. I've heard all of the arguments online and stuff, and some are very compelling. I think maybe if you really were going to be nitty gritty about it, it would be a sandwich because it's between.
Meat
It's
between
not
two.
really between. It's meat in bread. I don't know. I think a hot dog is a hot dog, like a hamburger is a hamburger. I don't
A
think a
class of
hamburger
its
is a
own.
sandwich. Yeah, I don't think a cheeseburger is a sandwich either. I don't know why, but I just don't think it is. I think it's outpaced that word. I think it's become its own entity, much like a hot dog.
I think. Okay.
Yeah, they have their own bun, like One Way says. They have their own, like there's a Frankfurter bun, a hot dog
And,
bun.
and there's a hamburger bun,
Yeah, and there's a hamburger bun, and there's a
but
hoagie bun.
there's a croissant. There's a fucking, all these other types of bread. So I would say technically it is a sandwich, and a hamburger is a sandwich too. I wouldn't call either of them a sandwich. Though.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe by definition, but in ethics and morality. No, it's
Yeah,
its own thing.
like a tomato's a fruit, but a
Exactly.
tomato's a vegetable, guys.
Right. Exactly.
All right, we got Pizza Overlord again asking for a friend. If you ride a Sportster, you tend to have a pretty ample amount of wiener. Should you try putting it and the balls over to one side of your pants, maybe balls on one side, wiener on the other, or perhaps do a division sign for the fun factor? A
Yeah, I don't know what
division
that's
sign?
one.
I've
I don't
not
know
heard
the
that one before.
division sign.
One ball on one side, one ball on the
Yeah,
other, and then the line right in the middle.
I think that might be what happens. I don't. Yeah, we're not all dealing with the same equipment here, my friend.
Yeah. And I don't know who told you that Sportster riders tend to have ample amount of wiener.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. You got me stumped on that one. But like I said, we're not working with the
Yeah.
same equipment
I just
apparently.
let it get all mashed up into a big ball.
And it
It
just
just
sits
looks
where it
like
don't
when you
fit.
look at it, when I get off my bike, if I took my pants off, it would just look like a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs. It's just all mashed up. Looks like
Ugh,
American chop suey.
we've
So I'm not
lost
tucking it
control.
one way or the other. I'm just hoping not to sit on it on a
Exactly.
hot
Yeah.
day, you
Yeah.
know? When you sit down and you're just tugging at your pubes with your own butt cheeks, and you're like, "Why are you doing this to me? I'm your own body."
Oh my god.
Um, yeah, dude. All right, Chewy era. I am considering for my next build to do a Milwaukee 8 chopper in quotes. Build more obnoxious than my low life ST that I've just finished. The low life ST, that thing came out fucking sick, dude.
So sick.
Yeah. I think everybody needs to put more low life stuff on their bikes. We need some low life patches.
And stickers, yeah.
We need some shit. Um Milwaukee 8 chopper would be sick, dude.
Fuck yeah. I can't wait to start seeing Milwaukee 8 chopper stuff. I know I've mentioned it on here. I think that's going to be awesome. I owned a Milwaukee 8 for a year or two, and
I've heard nothing but great things.
yeah, it was a great platform. I don't know. I had a great time on it. The thing fucking boot, scoot, and boogied as far as I'm concerned, and I traded out for a '98 Dyna '88 twin cam. So
Yeah.
I'm not working with rocket ships here, but the M8 was a lot of fun to ride, and that platform, the Softail platform, just stuck like fucking glue. It is what it is. All the twisties around here, I felt more safe on that bike than any other bike I've ever ridden. I don't know. Just adapted. It fit my riding style really well. I liked it a lot. So
Yeah. I was thinking about this today when I was working on my shovel head, and I was actually listening to another podcast, and they were talking about building Sportsters and stuff, and I was like, I don't think I am gonna build another kind of bike. I think I'm panhead shovelhead kind of guy. I just love them so much. I
yeah.
love working on them so much. They're so beautiful to me.
Mm,
Like when I look at that bike, dude, I love how I just love the way that they look and that the old technology and the history, and like I just love that. So it's
for
like
sure.
I love when other people like build Milwaukee 8s and fucking do crazy shit, dude. But I learned through experience that like I have respect for metrics, dude. I'm not a metric guy personally. I'm not
Mm,
ever going to have a I don't have any desire to build a CB 750 or an XS 650. That's just my personal taste. I like them though. I like to look at them, and we have some in our competition. I think they look amazing. But for me, I like what I like, dude. You know,
yeah.
some people don't like fucking Jimmy's on their ice cream. I'm not gonna yuck your yum, but I don't think I'm ever gonna build anything else. The next one, obviously, I believe in a progression.
Hmm.
All right, you have to kind of cut. You have to cut your teeth. You have to start with a dirt cheap metric bike for like $500 that runs. That's been spray painted with the tank still on the bike with Plasti Dip. That's where you start. That's your first grade, and then eventually you graduate, and maybe you get you take that bobber and then you graduate to a chopper and you build like an XS 650 chopper. And then where you start building it and you go, this is just not as cool as I hoped it would be. And then you get an iron head and you go, this is a goddamn headache. And that was my first Harley, my iron head. And I fucking chopped. That was the first bike that I chopped. And then you get an Evo Sportster. And then you finish that bike and you ride that bike and you love that bike because it works and
Mhm.
it's nice. But then you graduate once you get into the shovel heads and pan heads and stuff, dude. That's all you want. That's all I want to work on. Like I love working on it. And the other thing is you get really good at working on those really quick because there's so much fucking info out there.
Mhm.
Like there's just decades of info on shovel heads and pan heads. And that's just where I found myself, dude. But and then eventually you go shovel head, Jenny shovel. Maybe you skip the Jenny shovel, go right to a panhead, like my man Danny Panhead. Um, Ultimately, it's knuckle. That I
Mm.
think is the peak. That's your graduating class. Once you build a knucklehead chopper, that's the way I
Yeah,
see my life going.
for sure. I don't. I desire a knucklehead less than I do a panhead. Truthfully, I like a panhead better. I like a Jenny shovel better. But yeah, if I'm ever at a point in my life where I can afford to procure a knucklehead, I absolutely will. You know what I mean? For sure. Of course. Why wouldn't you? But yeah, I would for my own ride around bike, I'd rather have an Evo panhead Jenny.
All right. Next up. Oh, actually, the second part to his question, Chewy era. How do you feel about these weird, wonderful chopper builds that are using sport spikes and snowmobile motors? I think it's fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Innovation has to happen. It is what it is. That's how shit happens. People make motorcycles out of fucking snowmobiles and stuff, and they look awesome. And then
Yeah, you
it's
sent me that one. It was like a Ninja 750 or some shit. It
yeah,
sounded
man,
fucking like a sport bike, but it was a
so
fucking
sick.
chopper.
Or a Suzuki RE5 rotary powered fucking digger, or you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like that stuff. It again back to what Ryan was saying. That may never be something that comes out of my shop, but I fucking love it and love to be a part of it. I'd love to
yeah.
paint all of that stuff, but that's just maybe not my style of building. But I love it, man. Ethan Kahn's CB with the fucking Droon supercharger. I'm
Oh
so
yeah,
excited about that bike.
yeah,
So excited. And I like the Denver's CBs and stuff of the past, but CBs aren't real high on my list either. Someday I'd like to build one, but not anytime soon. You know what I mean? That'll be I'm fucking bored and I found one, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But that's the thing is you can have an appreciation for it, and not have
yeah,
it doesn't have to be your thing. You
right.
know?
I love tasteful, gimmicky things. Like we'll go so far as 3G Nuck, right? Ryan Grossman, his last Born Free build, he had the propane setup in his exhaust so he could blow flames through his exhaust. Considering that bike was in a fire and he brought it back from being in a fire and now it shoots. I love that, dude. That's not
Yeah.
spiderweb fucking fenders and making it a Spider-Man bike. That's fucking cool. That's tasteful. That's thematic. That's
Tasteful, tacky stuff.
yeah, for sure. I love shit like that. I think that stuff's cool. Crazy molding, crazy paint jobs, crazy any of that shit.
Yeah.
You combine two different kinds of motors. Lift Recycles just did the what did he call it? Shit. He had it's half Indian, half
Oh yeah, I
Harley
did Harley. Yeah.
motor. I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of that build, but that Born Free bike, fucking astounding. I love that shit, and that's right in our backyard. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's super cool. The crazier, the better. It's just maybe
Build
not what
whatever
I'm
you're
gonna build.
capable of and whatever you're stoked on. Like
Right.
for me, that's where my vision became a lot clearer. Was like when I would get the bike that I could afford, not the one that I wanted, and I have started more builds than I've finished. You know, because if I'm not stoked on it, I can't put the time in. So if you're stoked on building a fucking Ninja 750 chopper,
Yeah,
do it, dude, because the world needs
absolutely,
shit like that.
for
That's
sure.
what this stuff's all. Get fucking weird. Do what you love. That's what
Yeah,
we love. We love the individuality. We're not like sticking up our noses at fucking metrics. It's just, like we love choppers.
yeah,
We just happen to also like me and you tend to like the Harleys more.
right.
But one of our fucking Beck Bill Fabs, he's a fucking XS guy. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? He sponsors his show. He gets it. It's about It's about building cool shit.
Yeah. I've owned Hondas and Suzukis and shit. I have absolutely nothing against them. Love it. I've built cafe racers. Love that shit. Still do. I intend to build another one someday. But yeah, I don't know. I just got kind of stuck in Harley land. It is what it is. I got the Kool-Aid like everybody else. I have no
Yeah.
excuses for that. But
I
I don't know. I got
bleed.
the
I
fucking
bleed
shit
black and
tattooed.
orange,
Yeah, it
brother.
is. Yeah, it is what it is. Big Harley guy.
All right, we got
All right.
our boy Silver City Co. What is your least favorite part about building a bike and your favorite part about building a bike?
Mm. My least favorite is slowly become not. It's slowly becoming not my least favorite. I'm trying to figure out how to say that. I'm starting to like this part more, but it's the little detail sanding, molding shit. That stuff, like when you're in your neck area, right, and you're trying to get in there, and you have this much room to get your finger in there, so you can only go with sandpaper for fucking 45 minutes, and you got 400 grit on that bitch because you're trying to get it, and it just takes hours.
Mhm.
That stuff, that short repetitive motion shit drives me nuts. So that's my least favorite, but I'm starting to come to grips with it with my new job and shit. So it's getting a little bit easier. But that's my least favorite for
My
sure.
my least favorite's painting.
Yeah.
Well, because it's so fucking hard to do well, you know, and it's so
Yeah.
disheartening when you fuck it up because it's expensive. You know what I mean? And when you
Mm-hmm.
fuck it up, you have no one to blame but yourself, and you have to reset sometimes. You know, like
Yeah.
I had, you know, like the last time I painted the Softail, like, dude, I had to fucking grind off that paint fucking 3 different times, and I spent a lot of money on that paint, and
Yeah.
you spend hours with the prep and with the fucking this and that, and then to have it just get fucked up in a second, you know, like you
Mm-hmm.
spray on the clear and it immediately wrinkles and peels up or tears when you're sanding it. Um, I want to get really good at paint, so I don't, you know, but it is technically like really hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really nerve wracking too, because you have to be like super clean. You have to have stuff that's like you can weld and grind and fucking do all sorts of messy shit at all different times during the process, and you just sweep it up or whatever. But paint, you can't be doing that shit around your paint. So you can't
Right.
stop and walk away and go do something else. Like you have to have a sterile environment. You have to be patient. You have to. It's just really hard to do well. And
Yeah.
when you fuck up, it's expensive and it's hard to fix unless you hit the reset button and you grind it all off, which that
Yeah.
sucks too.
Yep. There's ways to fix shit. And that's, in my opinion, the biggest hallmark of a painter rather than an applicator is, can you fix fuck ups, your own fuck ups or somebody else's? Can you blend? Can you color match? Can you repair things and make it look like it was never there? Can you have a little bit of crazing here on this one spot, this little wrinkling thing that happens when you apply shit too thick? Can you repair that without having to repaint the entire fucking thing? It's all about fixing fuck ups. Anybody can put paint on something,
Yeah.
but putting paint on something in a manner with which it goes on flawlessly and will not fail, that's an entire discipline in of itself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
One way says, why does it feel better to throw away a part you worked on for hours because you didn't like it? Fuck paint.
Yeah.
Dude, really? Like, it doesn't hurt as bad, you know, like when you're making like a headlight mount or whatever, and then you put it up and you've spent maybe an hour fucking grinding and polishing all that shit and it doesn't
Yep.
fit right, or if you can chuck that motherfucker across the room, dude. You ain't throwing your paint gun. You ain't
Yeah.
kicking over your quart of paint that you spent fucking $300 on, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good to chuck a wrench or chuck a part in the fucking scrap bin and be like, fuck you. And then, you know, it's not as expensive of a mistake either. That's the thing that really gets me is, dude, like when you fuck up with paint, dude, you bought a quart, you don't want to buy another quart.
Well, I have thrown painted things. I have done that. The tank that was on the Gypsy Witch, or I'm sorry, the Scythe the narrow Sportster tank or whatever. When I was painting that, I put it in epoxy, and then I forget where I had it. I set it down somewhere and it fell and it dented the tank in epoxy, and it pissed me the fuck off. And I grabbed it by the rear mount fucking tab, and I straight up, there was nothing in my driveway. I straight up flung that fucking thing out my garage, and it rolled down my driveway like 5 times. I ended up fixing it, whatever, and it was all right. But I've done that before. That shit pisses me the fuck off. So I get it. Everyone thinks you have to have all this patience to be a painter. You just have to be willing to deal with a lot of fuck ups and take a lot longer than real painters to do what you want to do. That is
Yeah.
what it is. You have to be ferociously dedicated to getting a nice paint job. You cannot let anything slide, period. You have to be like, no, you just have to be ready. Like, I have to redo this as many times as it takes.
Yeah.
And as Mikey Machine Paint said, throw the fucking clock away.
Yep.
The time is the time.
What's
That's it.
what's your favorite part?
My favorite part is assembly after paint, for sure, because then everything starts to come together. Because like I've said a million times, yo, what's up, Boston? We're answering your question right now. My favorite part is final assembly because, like I've said before, my mind's eye thing sucks. So even during assembly, like right now, I've got the pan head set up the way it's gonna fucking be. That's how it's gonna be. So I can kind of see it, but without the paint and the molding and everything else, like it's really not clicking. So when you do final assembly, you finally get that shit, like not even necessarily like full polish, but like you did the frame. I don't have enough space to do frame and tins and all that shit all at the same time. So when I'm building, usually I do a frame, and then the frame can sit for 3 days or whatever. And then once it's dry, I can put the motor and the fucking front end, blah, 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 while I'm spraying the tins. So I can assemble all the other shit on the frame, get it into a roller, spray the tins, let them sit for 3 days, put that on, and then ta-da, I know what my bike looks like. So that's my favorite. That's the most rewarding part for me, I would say. But my favorite part is working through all the fabrication issues, really. That's my favorite part, is getting, like, how do I make this work from here to here? How do I do this? How do I make that out of thin air or whatever?
Mhm.
That's truly my favorite part, and the part that I want to get better at.
Yeah. Yeah, fab is up there for me. It's fun, like, welding and making your own shit, like sissy bars and stuff on the frame, but, my favorite part that I really look forward to now is the wiring.
Yeah, you do
It's,
love wiring.
it's really therapeutic, man. It's really quiet, and there's lots of troubleshooting because like, when you do internal wiring to figure out how to overcome issues like, "Oh, that's gonna cross too close to the chain. I need to get it over here," and how to how to be sneaky and hide things, and, um, then it's just soldering and making connections, and it's like it's when your bike comes alive too. Because once you
Yeah,
wire that fucking thing in, you can pretty much start. I mean, if it's one of the last things you're doing, but
yeah,
you plan for it before you even paint it, right? Like, you already drilled the holes where everything's gonna go, you kinda planned it out. Um, so when you're wiring it, it's just like it's the least, like, there's no sparks flying, there's no fucking, uh, noxious chemicals and shit like that. It's just you, a bunch of different wires, and you're thinking about, like, the coolest way you could lay this out so it's completely hidden, so nobody
yeah,
even sees it,
for
And,
sure.
the shrink wrap and the fucking all that stuff. You're just sitting there with all your tools out, you got, and then you don't need a whole lot of tools. Um, I like that part. I really have grown to love it because it was my biggest fear to start, and then
Yeah,
once you get over that and you do it and you're like, "That wasn't that bad."
that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. It's up there for me too. It's completely demystified at this point. Like you saw
Yeah.
how I wired the boot boy, and I have my own little wiring diagram on the bottom of my seat and all that shit, so I know. And
Yeah, and having, like,
you're in
little hidden
control of
kill
the.
switches and, like,
Yeah,
little
it's
cool
cool to
stuff like
be in
that. I love it.
control of that. Yeah, it's cool to be in control of, like, no, there's only one green wire. Like the green wire goes to my coil. There is no other green wire, period. So
Yep.
if I'm troubleshooting a green wire, that's what it goes to. There is
Yep.
something to be said for that, especially if you work on your own shit. It's good to know, like, if you just make all your fucking wire the same color because you got the cloth covered shit from, Prism or whoever, Lowbrow, good luck troubleshooting that shit where you have it going through the frame and whatever. You're like, fuck, you got to ohm it out. Do I have continuity? Ugh. No, it's the yellow wire that's rubbing. Oh, that's my
Yeah.
headlight. Done.
and you have that wiring diagram in your head because,
Right.
like, you
You did
know
it.
what wires you put them specifically, like, I use different color wires, and I like a thicker gauge wire too, just so because 'cause I'm going through the frame, it's gonna be rubbing and shit like that. But if you do it right and you solder that shit and you do a nice job, then you don't have to worry about electrical problems, you know?
Yep.
Like, it's when you fucking phone in the wiring and the electrical shit, that's when you're gonna have problems on the road with electrical connections, and I've seen it. Dude, how many times have we had a buddy on the side of the road and they have a fucking crimped connection that came loose
Thousands.
because they got the fucking the 700-piece set from Harbor Freight, and they're just crimping this
Yep.
shit together, and it's like, you spent so much time on everything else, like, have a little bit of respect for the thing that's making this thing go down the road. And
Yeah.
by the way, the hardest part to troubleshoot, your
Yeah.
chain breaks, you got to fix
Often.
your chain. You can see it. The electrical stuff, you'll be chasing forever. So just like take a lot of thought and time and do it really well. And you won't have to fuck with it. And you'll feel you feel like an engineer, you know?
Yeah.
Feel like
Really
motherfucking
don't.
Oppenheimer or some shit, dude, like soldering
Yeah.
wires and fucking figuring out problems, shit. You're a goddamn scientist.
Yeah, for sure. It's something that it's good to know, and it's really not as scary as it looks. It's really
Yeah.
not. You're only dealing with 12 volts. It's not going to electrocute you. You're not going to die. It's it's really really easy. You know what I mean? And there's endless amounts of information out there on any of these bikes that we're working on for diagrams and shit. You know what I mean? It's do it right, and that's really the end all be all. And Rhino's right; it is therapeutic because like it's just you and those wires, and you're clipping,
Yeah.
and there's no loud noise. I never really considered it that way, but that is kind of the most peaceful part of the build. It really is
I don't
because
have any
after
music
that,
going, and I'm not listening to pot because I
yeah,
gotta concentrate.
for
But also
me,
you're getting, like you're thinking, like, 2, 3 steps ahead, because you
yeah,
gotta make sure that you have your wire shrink on. Dude, I even put, like, little rubber grommets
yeah,
in the frame where I'm going in and shit, and it's like, you feel good knowing that you did a good job. You're like, "Yeah, that wire's not gonna tug," you know?
yeah. And
Everything has
that's
enough
kind
slack
of
and shit.
the wiring is kind of, at least for my order of operations, the wiring is kind of the last peaceful part because after the wiring's done, I'm putting fluids in the bike and I'm starting it. And
Yeah.
that's stressy McStress town. Like from there on out, it's oh fuck. It's
That's
does it
nerve-wracking
work?
is
Does it
once you
run?
have that in,
Yeah. When you
you gotta
turn the
get it to
key, am I gonna
go.
fry when I turn this key right now, or when whatever, am I gonna fry the fucking condenser? Am I gonna fry this brand new fucking $200 something ignition, or my $275 F&A
It
headlight, or
happens like
whatever? You know
this.
what I mean?
As soon as you
Instantaneously,
turn it
and
on,
brown smoke. Yeah.
that's
Brown smoke.
I fucked up my headlight and I smoked it out, remember? As
Hmm.
soon as I turned it to accessory, dude, the fucking headlight went poof,
Oh
huge
yeah.
cloud of
It's
smoke.
instant.
Luckily, it was fine, but
Yeah, it's instantaneous. So it's that the wiring itself, take your fucking time, but definitely take your time and do it right are really the only two things. Just
yeah,
make sure it's good. Make sure you've double checked. Make sure you're, whatever. There's tons of literature on it and shit, and ask anybody. Ask anybody who's built
there's a
bikes.
million wiring diagrams and they're all so, so simple. Don't
Yep.
overcomplicate it by overthinking it.
No,
And
it's easy.
the other thing I'll say too is once you integrate like the once you go to the internal wiring thing, it gets even more fun because you're not just running it down the backbone and putting in a wire loom or whatever and zip tying it to the frame. You really have to think about routing and stuff. And even when you're fabricating, like if you're putting those tank bungs down in the center or whatever, you're gonna have to snake a wire past those,
Yeah.
for your headlight. Stuff like that. It's fun to think about, it's fun to plan, and then it's not too difficult. So all right, we got number 2 for Silver City Co., specifically for
Oh shit.
Dan. What's your top 3 albums of 2025?
Oh shit. Recollection, their new album for 2025. Fuck. This one is also going to be my weekly album recommendation, but Criminal Dreams by Bullshit Detector. That one is on my list for 2025. And Mental Warfare What is that? 2020? Yeah, and mental warfare. Everything is wrong. I would say those are my tops for 2025. Put me on the spot a little bit. There's probably some other ones in there, but that's the ones I can write off the top of my head. Good question.
Nobody cares what mine are, so we'll just keep on moving along. Espaceta. Oh, another one just for Dan. Why don't we just call
Nuh-uh.
this the Dan podcast from now on? I just won't even be here, huh? How's the new job transition going? Any crazy builds going on there?
Job transition is going good. This is my last week. When you hear this on Friday, today is my last day at my current job.
Ooh, boy.
So starting on Monday, it's full time. Yep. And yes, there are lots of very cool builds going on in there. Um, I don't know how much I can. I don't think it really matters. I don't think any customers are listening to this, but we got a really cool Mustang in there that started out as a coupe that is no longer a coupe. It's a Shelby fastback. That thing's getting close to paint. We got a really cool C3 Corvette that's just about done that we're doing all up in House of Colors. My first car is coming. The first car that I will ever paint from soup to nuts by myself, that I will ever restore and paint, is coming, I think, in like a month. And if I remember correctly, that's a 1977 Trans Am Formula. So I'm pretty fucking excited about that.
That's
That's the
fucking
first
sick,
car I
dude.
ever get to paint by myself. I can't wait. But yeah, this is really cool. My boss is building International Scout literally from scratch on a table. Yeah, lots of really cool shit. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. So it's going well, and more updates to follow once I'm full time starting on Monday.
All right. Um, Bougie Billy. This one's also for just for Dan.
No, it's not.
Dan.
I'm just kidding. Oh, I was gonna say you reading
I'm
these.
actually not butthurt, guys. I'm just joking. Um,
Yes, he
who or
is.
what company has reached out about
Oh,
the Idle Hand show that you were not expecting, or has anyone?
way to put us on the spot.
Yeah. Um, no one's really reached out.
Well, we're doing a podcast with Danger Dan. That didn't come out of. I mean, it came out of thin air, I suppose you could say. But so we're doing that. That came to fruition kind of on its own. Um, we are hopefully going to be doing some work with Traditional Shopper Magazine here coming up soon. Um, we are hopefully going to be doing either way. Just a shout out to this company, Live Forever, Die Whenever. Right? Is that the LFDW podcast? They have their whole store online. Go check it out. But hopefully, potentially doing some sort of thing via Muzzy on that. So we've had a lot of people that are reaching out on our behalf, and some people that have just kind of reached out to us and want to get involved in stuff. So it's really cool, and we encourage all that stuff. So
Yeah, actually, Kenny's House of Power, he reached out. Actually, could
yep,
have given him a call back. I forgot to call him back, but he wants to help support the show. I guess there's been
fuck yeah,
some, but we're going to be starting our sponsorship campaign soon. We have reaching out for bigger companies that want to support the show, support the builders and stuff like that. So more to come, but it's relatively still small,
yeah,
compared to like it doesn't like we don't have like fucking 30K followers on Instagram and shit like that. It's just small organic word of mouth type of thing. And every once in a while we'll see a follow from someone like, Michael Lichter or so and so, like big names and shit. So I think it's catching, people are it's a buzz. The Idle Hand show is
mhm,
a buzz, but it's its first year and people are kind of like they don't really know what to make of it yet. And we haven't really gotten out into magazines, onto other podcasts, and done like a, I don't know, like a fucking, what do
promotional
celebrities do
tour.
when they go? Yeah, like a publicity tour type of thing.
Yeah,
But we really do want to do more of that. Now that it's like the new year, a lot of this stuff we were like, we'll get to that in the new year. We'll do that starting in January. Now it's January, and me and Dan are like, we have a laundry list like this, and we're like, oh fuck, this is actually gonna be a lot of work. Um, so yeah, just make sure you share the shit and like the stuff and make sure people are that should be seeing it are seeing it, and thanks to everybody. I do see people tagging, Low Life and Idle Hand show on other people's pages and like, yo, check it out. Like that's really helpful because
Mhm.
they might not see it otherwise, you know. So put it out in front of them because we want everybody that's into this sort of thing to be at the show. If you think this show is cool, you like the idea, you like it, like to me, this sounds like the best show ever. That's why I keep on saying this is the greatest chopper show ever because it's exactly what I would want to go and do, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, just hopefully people do reach out, you know. Hopefully we do. We are definitely going to be reaching out and trying to get some sponsors on board. But yeah, no huge companies, you know, like JP Cycles weren't like, "Yo, Rye guy, can we fucking sponsor the show?" But maybe next year they will.
Yeah.
Um Nothing from Cycle Source. No, haven't talked to Cycle Source, but I'll talk to those guys. I'll talk to Chris over there.
Mhm.
Um
Yep.
yeah, Gordon tags us in a lot of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Actually,
Thank
his,
you for that, man.
Built Wells People's Champ. Yeah, and we appreciate that, dude. That's awesome. I think
Yeah,
we're, like,
man.
in the same I think Idle Hands and Built Wells People's Champ are going to be the 2 biggest chopper shows ever. Maybe not our first
Hopefully,
year, but if we
right.
do it again, if this shit kicks off the way that we think it's gonna kick off, and it's fucking as sick as I'm saying it is, then I think we're absolutely gonna be in the same conversation, you know?
Right. And I hope that that ends up being in a very mutually friendly whatever way, you know what I mean? We're not trying to steal anything from anybody. We're not trying to fucking take over nothing. We're just trying to do it a little differently. That's it. We're not at all trying to burn any fucking bridges
That's
here or nothing.
the thing is like, you know, it's good to have options, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine if you go to the
Yeah.
fucking cereal aisle and all they have is fucking Frosted Flakes, you know? I like fucking Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
I actually don't like
It's
Fruity
just
Pebbles. What's your go-to
I
cereal?
Fruity Pebbles.
I thought you looked like a Fruity Pebble guy.
Fuck you.
No, you do. You're just like, "Hey, my son's a
I
Fruity
love
Pebble
Fruity
guy."
Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows, the generic brand, not Fruity Pebbles like the real brand, the Hannaford brand.
Yeah, see, I like old people food. Like my favorite fucking cereal is like Life.
I love Life cereal too, though.
Yeah.
I
It's
fucking love
just
Cinnamon Life.
food and milk, you know?
Yes.
Nothing too fancy.
Mhm.
I can't do the fucking marshmallows. I can't do the super sweet stuff. But
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Mine are
um
all fucking jumbled up. I can't even tell if we have more or not.
I'm just going down and if I miss any, then they might be on yours.
Okay.
Dustin Slow. Would y'all ever come down the Georgia Grundle run? It's in September. If not, you're square, JK. Y'all are the shit. I said it like that because I'm picturing that you have a southern accent.
I would love to. I would fucking love to get down the
Lots of
Grundle Run.
y'alls.
Yep. I would love to get
I
down
would
the
love to.
Grundle
I
Run.
heard
That's
it's
been
the
on my list.
best.
Yeah. I think if I remember correctly, that's the same month Glory Days is, and I'm going to Glory Days this year.
We're
So
definitely going to Glory Days. I don't know when is it in September? If anybody knows, chime in.
yeah, I don't remember, but if they are both in September, they're both too far away for me to attend. So that'll have to be a 2027 for me. Fingers crossed. All that's still going on and everything. So, but
Weekend
yeah, that's one that's
before.
been way high up on
Okay.
my list. Weekend before, yeah, I can't swing that. That's too far away, too much time away.
Yeah,
But
probably not for me either. I mean, that also just happens to be like the first week of school. Like that's
right,
wicked
exactly.
tough. If you're a parent, you
Yeah,
know, like first week of school, it's like you're running around with your fucking hair on fire.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, Sammy Kristoff, I'm turning into a little baby bitch as I get older. How do you make your garage tolerable for the winter months? Cheap insulation? What kind? Insulation walls and ceiling or just ceiling? Is putting up plastic good enough? How do y'all do it? Yeah, we got the y'alls in this comment section. Um, yeah, I this is what I did. I did the fucking pink insulation shit, you know, the Pink Panther bullshit, but I didn't do it all at once because it's expensive as fuck. And I just bought a little bit and I did like one wall in my garage. And then I put up the fucking drywall and then I moved over. And when I had some extra money, I went and I didn't try to fucking boil the ocean, you know? If you go and buy Like, I think my garage is like 500 square feet or something, not big, just too big garage or whatever, like 25 by 18. Nobody do the math on that because I said it's 500 square feet. I'm probably wrong, but um, I just did it bit by bit. It took me like 3 years. I did like one wall because you have to get the fucking insulation, and then you have to get the fucking drywall. Um, and I just did it inside. I did one wall like 1 year. I did another wall the other year, and then like 2 years went by, and I finally did the third wall. And now it's properly insulated, and that's not enough. That is not enough because I'm a baby back bitch too, dude. I don't like working in the cold, dude.
Mm.
I can't do it. So I always had a pellet stove in the garage. Like after the first year, I'll correct myself. My first year in there, I had a propane heater, and it fucking sucked. It doesn't get hot enough, you know? Doesn't get warm enough in the dead of winter because, like, he's from Ohio, right, Sammy?
I
I think
believe
he's
so.
from Ohio. So it gets cold. Gets real fucking
Yeah.
cold. And I'm not working on shit when it's like that, dude. But I have a pellet stove and an insulated garage. I would do the ceiling too if I were you. I did the ceiling. Again, my ceiling upstairs, uh, that took me a lot longer to do. I didn't do that until like a couple years ago. And I didn't do it all at once. But in hanging ceiling, sheetrock on the ceiling sucks too. I suck at that just in
Mm.
general. But yeah, you should definitely get some sort of heater, even if it's like a wood stove or something. You can get those for under $100, dude. And in fact, the first pellet stove I had in here, I bought for $100 on Marketplace, and it came with all the pipes because the fucking pellet stove pipes, the double wall fucking stainless steel shit, is so expensive. You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Mm.
Like I'm not even gonna tell you what like a 90-degree elbow costs because you would be like, Ryan, you're full of shit, dude. No fucking way. But go on Marketplace. My first year I had an insert. It's supposed to be inserted into a chimney, but it still threw heat, and it came with the pipes, and it cost $100. And I ran that for like 2 years or something until it fucking stopped working. Then I went and bought another one. But pellet stoves are the way to go because, dude, if it get like this week, it's been kind of warm, but like it's been cold for weeks before. Like it's been cold single digits overnight. I let the pellet stove run. I just let it run, dude, on low. And then when I walk into the garage, it's like in the 40s. It's 3 degrees outside. It's in the 40s inside.
Mm.
Um, and you don't have to worry about burning your fucking shop down with a wood stove, you know? It's a contained fire. You throw in a couple of bags of pellets and just let it rip. But it's not going to do shit for you unless you insulate. So I would say get a pellet stove as cheap as you can and then slowly insulate your garage until it is fully insulated. You don't have to do it all at once. It's too expensive, too daunting. But every time you go to Home Depot, grab a roll of that pink shit and throw it up. That's
Yeah.
doable, you know?
Yep. I don't do any of that shit. I have a Mr. Heater, Buddy Heater, propane, and for the last 6 winters, I go outside and I turn on that Buddy Heater and I use the propane tanks that you connect to a grill. And my shop, my garage is very small. It is completely uninsulated. It is very drafty. But I run that little heater probably 15 minutes or so, and it gets to about 70 in that bitch, but I lose it pretty quick. But I have to turn that off when I'm spraying paint regardless because it's an open flame and etc. So it kind of works out anyways, where I run it in like right up to the second where I'm about to spray paint, and then I have an infrared heater in the paint booth. That's more for pieces because it doesn't really heat the air; it heats things. Um, so I sprays, as much as I need to or whatever. I let all of the overspray evacuate, and I know I'm good. Give it a couple minutes, and then I'll throw the heater back on, aimed away from the paint, but still in the vicinity to keep some ambient air and some airflow and whatever. But as far as like working out there, if I have propane, I'll turn it on. If not, I layer the fuck up, and it sucks. I'm not trying to be hard here. It fucking sucks, and that has deterred me a lot this year from going out in the garage. That's why there hasn't been much done in the Panhead. Because at the end of the day, when I get home, fucking 4 or 5 o'clock at night or whatever, after leaving at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to go freeze my dick off in the garage again.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for warmer climate, warmer
The
weather.
other
So
thing, if I would say number one, insulation is going to go a long way because you can bundle up and throw. Dude, again, those little propane heaters. I got one for my garage too this year, just because you can throw that thing on for 10 minutes and it'll raise it 10 degrees in there. You know, so the pellet stove's going, it's fucking 40 degrees. Throw that bitch on for 10 minutes, 50 degrees. You know, and then the pellet
yeah,
stove
for
will
sure.
maintain that heat. But
Right.
yeah, just do a piecemeal, dude. Just buy a roll, buy a sheet rock. Every time you do that, it's going to get incrementally warmer. You know,
Right.
like if you have a wall that like I had this one wall and it's on the back of my garage and it's super windy because I live up like elevated. So and there's no trees to break it up. So it's wicked windy. And if you stood next to that fucking wall, dude, you could feel the wind coming in through all the cracks and shit. So get yourself some of that spray foam shit. Get rid of anywhere you see daylight, that's fucking heat
Mhm.
escaping and coldness coming in, and then just insulate the shit like you would your house, and then eventually paint it. Like I had that shit like just fucking raw dog for a long time. Then eventually I painted it all black, and it was awesome. And now I can work year round and be relatively comfortable. You know, but I can't
Yeah.
say enough about the pellet stove because wood stoves are cheap, yes, but you can get a used pellet stove for just as cheap as a wood stove, and you don't have to start a fire, stoke a fire. Like that's just one less thing you have to worry about. You just push a fucking button, the thing starts up, and you have a fire. Um, yeah, Shovel Sam's asking you should get Chicken Rick back on. Ask him how he swings going to every single show. Uh, I'm just
Because
gonna
he built that life, baby.
yeah. He has a job that allows him to travel, and then I'd say the number one reason, don't have kids. If you want to travel to motorcycle shows, you cannot have children because, you know, your kids might like that kind of life, but I'm sure your wife's not going to like you bringing your kids to these places.
Yeah.
And you got to have
No, he's just
his fiance or whatever must be cool as fuck because he goes to all
yeah.
this shit and she doesn't seem to be at every. I mean, she travels with him sometimes, but she's not at everything, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and he the short answer to that is he built that life. I mean, look back at the progression of chicken fried choppers, man, and how quickly you know, he's done it all. He's been everywhere. He built that life. So that's
Yeah,
how he worked his fucking ass off. But
yeah,
yeah, he's doing some really cool stuff. We definitely need to check in with Rick soon. And Sam, we need to check in with your ass too. We need to do an episode with you, see how you've been doing.
100%.
But yeah, that'd be cool. Just talked to Rick the other day, so we'll get that pot stirring.
All right, we got Born Again Choppers, Mary Fuck Kill, 80s Honda Goldwing,
Mhm.
2000s V Star,
Ooh,
20s Livewire.
damn. I am
I'm definitely fuck.
marrying the
I'm gonna
Goldwing.
fuck the Goldwing.
I'm marrying the Goldwing.
You're gonna wife up a Goldwing, dude.
I'm gonna wife up the Goldwing. I am going to kill the V Star, and I'm going to fuck the live wire.
Yeah, I'm
That's
definitely
actually
gonna
pretty
kill
easy
the
for
V
me.
Star. We're both murdering the V Star.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna marry the Livewire, dude.
The electric bike?
Yeah, because it's dead, and I get the fucking life insurance from it.
There are still 20s live wires that exist though.
Dude,
You
you're
could
not
still
marrying a
you could
Goldwing.
still
You don't want to walk into the function with a Goldwing under your arm, dude.
I would
With all that booty, dude. Mm-mm.
no, I
That's one of those Goldwing something you ride when nobody's looking. You know what I mean?
the very first motorcycle I was on was a 1988 Honda Goldwing. The very first motorcycle I ever sat on or rode on was a 1988 Honda Goldwing. So I'm marrying the Goldwing for sure. I love a Goldwing. I like a Silverwing better, but I love a Goldwing. I'm not talking shit. And then the
Did you?
live wire, I've ridden a live wire and they're fun. They're strange. They feel more like a toy than a motorcycle to me, but I see some of the appeal to the electric bike shit. It's crazy. There's no clutch. You just go and it's fucking instant and it's fucking if you're not paying attention, if they don't have, you know, the sensors or whatever, you fucking whiskey throttle that some bitch. But I don't think that's something I would want to ride every day. You know what I mean? For the rest
Not
of my
every day,
life.
no. I
No,
would do a Goldwing
I would
trike,
ride a
dude.
Goldwing.
I do a Goldwing trike.
Yeah,
That
he
looks
didn't
like
say
it's
anything
gonna be
about
fun.
modifying it.
Yeah.
I'd rather modify an '80s Goldwing than try and modify a live wire. What are you gonna do? Put a fucking combustion engine in it.
Yeah, I wouldn't just tear out the harness, like, just do a
Yeah.
simplified wiring harness on a live wire.
I mean, it is a wiring harness
Yeah.
to a bunch of motors. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
not fucking with that. But,
No thanks.
did was there any that I missed, or was that it? That was all I had on my list.
I'm pretty sure
Do we
that's
have any other, questions
J
from the chat before we shut her down?
um,
We always miss some because for whatever reason, our
that's every
views are
single one
different?
I've got.
Okay.
That's that's every single one that I have. So I think we might have done did it. Do you want to do your album recommendation now?
Yeah, what was yours again?
My album of the week is Criminal Dreams by Bullshit Detector. It's a wonderful remaster of a lot of their other songs, especially their bigger ones. And a new song on there that's this like thug wave that they're kind of pioneering. It's really fucking awesome. So definitely go check that out. Really good stuff on there.
Okay.
Actually, real quick, can I tickle an idea I had?
Yeah.
Hardcore Corner, where I know I was doing for a little bit, like in show shout outs and sponsors, where I would say, hey, there's a show coming up or whatever. But this would be something like, for example, FYA Fest just happened this weekend. And it doesn't have to be just hardcore. I'm absolutely down to just music in general. But like just this past weekend, FYA Fest happened. It was crazy. You've seen all the videos of Haywire or whatever, just like show coverage and stuff, just little blips about what's going on. So and so came out with a new album. I just went to the show and it was great. You know what I mean? Shit like that. And then I was thinking too, like if I'm ever in a position where I can get a quick, like either lapel mic type deal or a cell phone interview with people while I'm out at hardcore shows or
Yeah,
whatever, we could clip that in.
do you have the
What?
lapel mics? Is that with the travel kit we had?
I'll have to check. I'm
Yeah,
not
check that
positive.
out because I can't find them.
Okay. Yeah, I have the kit right over here, so I'll check when we're done.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down with
But
that,
you know
dude.
what I mean? That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe do that like once a month, or I don't know. It doesn't have to be in every
Yeah,
single
whenever
episode thing.
I'm down for that, dude. I mean, I definitely think that I think a lot of our listeners are into the hardcore stuff.
It seems like it. I get a lot of cool feedback about it, and I want to grow that portion of our scope. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah,
if people are
definitely.
into it, give me some feedback on that. Would you guys want to hear Hardcore Corner is just kind of the working title I've got for it, but it doesn't have to be, nor am I only interested in hardcore. You know what I mean? If it's anything that isn't anything guitar music, anything that isn't fucking radio bullshit, I'm into it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'll cover it all. Let me know.
Yeah, a little
That's all I've
rusted
got.
root, you know? A little fucking DMB, dude.
Mm,
I'm just kidding.
mm,
I hate that shit. I fucking
yeah,
hate
man.
rusted fruit, dude. I hate
I
them.
don't even know what that is, but Dave Matthews Band can suck my ass
Yeah, they
for
suck,
all of
dude.
eternity.
Um, all right, my album recommendation is going to be EPMD, Back in Business, 1997, Eric Sermon. There's not a bad track on here, but I highly recommend "Da Joint." Um, that'll get you moving, dude. You need some motivation? You wanna feel like a gangsta, dude? EPMD.
Oh yeah,
Goated.
sick.
Um, all right, guys. That's it for this week. Thank you all for joining in on the live. Thank you for chiming in the comments. It's been cool hanging with you guys. Until next week, get in the fucking garage. Go freeze your ass off or do something about it. Have fun. Get in trouble. Almost forgot to get in trouble. Never stop fucking chopping. Never.